Hello and welcome to episode 8. This is Cal Non Jr.
Good afternoon. This is Jean Gerard.
Formula bitch.
You got peanut butter in your mouth? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, welcome back.
Welcome back. We've had it was a very interesting footy week. Very, very interesting.
There's more controversy to talk about. Champions League, of course, mostly. Do we want to go straight to it?
Yeah, let's just go ahead and start it. All right. So first of all, what was it? Prem, right? I think
the Prem, or we want to talk about champions.
Well, we'll wait for the champions. Let's just start. Well, let me see. Hold on. Let me pull up my old reliable cell phone.
Because the Prem is basically, it's been for the past week now. Been pretty much.
All right, we saw that West Ham one. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So let's just start it with the champions, right?
Yeah.
So Borussia Dortmund beat PSG 1-0 at home. Now I watched that game. I didn't watch it like full on, nerd glasses and everything. But I will say this: PSG were very unlucky.
6 times hit the post.
Right.
Four times?
4 of them were in the last 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So it's crazy.
It's one of those games that you get to see at least once every so often, that it doesn't matter how much the team tries, it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
it's just one of those days that it was never going to go in. It made the game more exciting. You kind of feel bad for them because the attempts were there, but it just was not going to happen.
Yeah. Borussia Dortmund literally had that, I don't even know how many. I think they only had a couple, they had a couple shots, and they took advantage, PSG had 30 shots.
Yeah.
30 shots. Dortmund had 7. So that's insane. That is insane. Yeah, I mean,
it was not in the cards. It just was not in the cards.
Yeah, I mean, it just wasn't for them, it just wasn't meant to be. But then you start asking, right? Or at least if I was a board member of PSG, okay, was it investment A, B, or C, right? Because they spent I think this transfer window, because I had seen it somewhere, they spent a little over 500 mil on players to bring in total, right?
Yeah.
And I think it speaks multitudes, right? Loudly that no amount of money can
buy you a Champions League
unless you're City, right? But yeah, so yeah, it's tragic, right? Because if you watch the game, you can actually kind of tell that they really wanted to win, right? That they really wanted it, but sadly, it just wasn't there. I do question Luis Enrique's decision, though, to take out their number 9. I forgot his homie's name. I think he's Portuguese, but
you're talking about Vitinha? Or?
No. What's his name? I think he's Portuguese, or is he Brazilian, or is he Spanish? Give me a minute here. Oh, Ramos. He is Portuguese, yeah.
Oh, Ramos. Okay.
Yeah. Their number 9. He took him out in the 60-something, 3rd minute, something like that, I think. I'm not too sure, but yeah, he took him out in the 63rd minute. But which is kind of weird, because when they had those opportunities to score, there was no one in the box to do those moves off the ball that you needed, right, to actually finish. And there was a ball that Mbappe picked up from the right side, and he literally just freaking shot it, slow, and had so much pace on it. And there was no one in the middle to actually just tap it in. It was literally an amazing.
What'd you think about that play where Mbappe was about to go 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and he got slightly pulled back?
Nah, that was.
You think it was just part of the play, nothing else?
No, that was no foul whatsoever.
Because in certain angles, it seemed like he was actually getting hooked.
Right.
But
I didn't see it. I thought first off, when I first saw it, I was like, "Holy shit!" That's a red card, or that's a
Penalty,
yeah
something.
something, right? And but then like after like once the VAR did, I was like, "Oh no, like that's fair play."
The one thing that I did not like about the game in particular was Osman Dembele.
Well, he was invisible. He wasn't even
Yeah,
there. He did
and
not show up.
I hate players that they want to act like they're passionate about the game, or they were so involved or focused on the game. Um, they act like they were, but they were completely invisible, and they want to get aggressive against the other team, like they actually did something.
Well, you can kind of tell, right? You can kind of tell the quality in players, right? Especially in big moments like that in a semifinal. I think that's where players are actually get to prove themselves, not in the final, because it takes. I think it takes a lot more to reach a final than to actually just be in the final. Yes, sure, you still have to be concert. You still have to have full concentration in the final and win it. I understand
I
that.
think what you're trying to say more than that. I think it's more of it's a different stage.
Yeah, well,
Because the
exactly.
two different stages, of course, you want to win both. It's just mentality is different from a semifinal than
Yes,
from a final.
yes, because
You know,
semifinal. Well, I mean, a final and a semifinal, right? Mistakes cost you, but I think a semifinal it requires a different level, a different form of different form, like you said,
mentality.
mentality. Yeah, like you said, because in a final, you can kind of psych yourself back in it, right? If you're not really in it,
Yeah,
you literally one play, 1 second can change the whole dynamic. And in a semifinal, especially in the Champions League,
it's a tone.
it's a two-legged race.
Yeah,
And it's like if you did shit the first game and you do shit the second game, like bro, like you literally did nothing. You proved that you're worthless. You know.
yeah,
So I think it kind of shows Dembele's character, right? The kind of player he is. He's not a he's not a closer. It's just what it is.
no,
What it
he's
is.
not.
He's
He's
not a
not.
closer. He is not. He's a selfish player. Which there's nothing wrong with being a selfish player, but you have to know. You have to know when to be selfish and when not to. That's what makes to me. That is what makes a good number 10. And to me, he does not deserve that number 10.
But yeah, well, yeah, good for Borussia. They held their ground despite of PSG's attempts, and
Bro, they got battered. Like
yeah,
they were getting rocked left and right. Like the goalkeeper played the game was life.
but it's like like I had mentioned before. It's kind of nice to see Marcos Royce.
Yeah, but again, but that's not. That's more like to me. That's more like
Oh no,
see,
that's a sidebar of the whole thing. That this is just like a little. It's a nice little thing, extra thing for the final. You know,
right.
um, yeah, they're gonna play Real Madrid, but if they come out the way they came out the first game against PSG,
They can. They
they
probably.
can they
They have
can
a chance. They
cause
have a
yeah
chance.
they have a chance.
But if Madrid comes out again with 12 players like they did in this last game, that's crazy. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, 13 players. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Let's get into that one now. Let's get into that one.
Yes.
For
So
anyone that watched the Madrid Bayern game, we
I'll
would
say
like
this.
to hear your thoughts on it.
Look it. I'll say this. I will say this. I will say this. Dortmund got fucking swept. They were getting crushed by Madrid. Madrid kept on pressuring them and pressuring them and
PSG.
pressuring them. No, Madrid. Madrid kept on pressuring Dortmund.
But
I mean, fucking Bayern. Sorry,
yeah,
Germany. And right, so they kept on getting pressured by them, and you can kind of see glimpse of what the plan, right? The that Thomas Tuchel had when Chelsea played Man City in that final in Porto, where it was take the beating, but as soon as you get that one chance, take it and freaking score.
yeah,
And they did that, right? Harry Kane, because a lot of the times their wingers or their midfielder, right? They were alone, and I told you this like way in the beginning that Germany,
Bayern.
Bayern, yeah, Bayern Munich has so many players They're not steak sauce. They're not A1. They do not deserve to be there.
Yeah.
Like, and we talked about this after the game because we had a phone call. Um, Matias, fuck, what's that guy's name? Give me a second here because he's trash. Um, Limer, Conrad Limer, that's him.
Oh,
Conrad Limer,
the
yeah,
hurricane decoy.
yeah. That guy is absolute garbage. You can tell that he either comes from money and he got to play because his
You know somebody?
yeah, because you can tell that he can that's the only reason why, right? Then to me, Thomas Tuchel taking a risk on Serge Gnabry because he just came back from an injury. He's been out almost the whole season. To me, that was a stupid start. It was the dumbest start. I get it. You're trying to counter with speed, right? But it's dumb. It's a risk that sure if it pays off, great, right? But
It didn't pay off in the league.
Exactly. And then Mazraoui, he's the left back, right? The left back for Bayern Munich. He is also so terrible. The only play I give him was that last play, which was the controversial call. The last play where he headed it in back to delete fucking or delight whatever fucking scored it, right?
Yeah.
Right, which was a good goal. But other than that, Bayern were just taking a beating. They were taking a beating.
We're not going to dismiss the fact that Madrid was dominating the game. It's just the factor here is a situation that dictated the ending of this game.
No. Right.
Like once again, we're going to talk about VAR and not doing.
Well, there was no VAR.
Oh, absolutely, and why didn't they intervene? They could have intervened too, because the rules did state that you have to allow the play to continue.
Right.
Especially in that type of scenario. You cannot have the on-field refs making mistakes like this on such a big game that pretty much
it's a decider.
Yeah, it's a decider. It's a horrible call, and then to have the audacity to tell the players, "Oh, I made a mistake." That's just adding insult
to the wound.
Yeah. So
yeah. So okay. So, but before Bayern were poor. They had a very bad performance. It's not to say because and just because one team is better than the other, that doesn't mean that luck, right? That luck doesn't take over because in the semifinal between Barca and Chelsea, the one that Chelsea won, at Camp Nou, Chelsea were a man down since like the minute 20 something, and Barca just kept on pounding and going at it. Chelsea reluctantly, scored 2 goals, and they came out on top. Went to the final against Bayern Munich at home at the Allianz Arena. They won it, and so it's kind of the same story, right? Where one team's getting battered, and they're holding on. They score a goal, they counterattack, they score the goal, and they're holding on, and a bullshit call happens and ruins the whole thing, the whole dynamic. Now, at the end of the game, the ref said, "We apologize, our mistake." During the press conference, Thomas Tuchel said it's the second time that it happens to him. And I didn't know what he meant by it. But he was right. Chelsea faced Madrid before he got fired, the second time around in the Champions League. And there was a play where Marcos Alonso scored an amazing goal where his hand, so he's going in from the left wing, cuts in. A Madrid defender taps the ball, and Marcos Alonso's hand is literally on his body.
Oh, I remember that.
And the ball literally just slides up his leg, and it touches his stomach, which then it grazes. You can tell from every angle. It grazes his arm. He shoots. He scores. But VAR intervened, and it's the same ref too.
Wasn't that during the time that they wouldn't make up their mind about the handball rules?
Yeah, they didn't know what to call.
Yeah.
And so they're like, "Oh, that it doesn't count."
Ridiculous.
And that
Having
goal,
one rule and then change it in the middle of a season.
Mm-hmm.
That was a
And
ridiculous
it was
thing.
well, it was the what was it, quarterfinals, I think.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because it was the same ref too, which is insane, right? And yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was the two times that Thomas Tuchel was mentioning. And so Ancelotti comes out and they're interviewing and they're asking him like, "Hey, this whole situation." And to me, because at the end of the game, there's been videos where uh, like the coaches or whatever, they get to see, right, the replay and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Especially now where where the referees are forced to show the replays to the team, right, so they can see it. And so Ancelotti says, "Oh, if they're crying and complaining about the offsides,
Oh,
then the whole
the disallowed goal.
yeah, the Kimmich, he dived. That should have been a goal." And it's like, what are you talking about? He puts both his hands on his throat.
Yeah.
You that should have been,
There's
first of all, that should have been a yellow card towards your player, and it wasn't.
So do you think Ancelotti is just buying into his own stuff right
Yeah,
now?
dude, he's just fucking, yeah. I mean, look at this point, you can tell because you can tell that his head is so far up his ass already at this point because he's already numb to Champions League. He's Mr. Champions League. He's Mr. UEFA. So his head was so far up his ass, and he can't deny that a lot of refs favor Madrid. You cannot deny it. Now, is it really corruption? I don't know, because there's no evidence, right? All it shows is that it was human error, but that was the point of VAR, to avoid human error.
See, and with all these different newses coming after, like this is not having to do with that particular game, but I don't know if you already saw that they already announced that in La Liga they will no longer be using goal line technology.
They don't use goal technology.
That officially they were going to scrap it completely because it costs too much. And the whole thing about this is like it has to do one thing with another because like if things are going to continue this way, just get rid of VAR. Get rid of it and allow the human error to continue as a human error because it just makes the game seem so much corrupted.
I disagree. I disagree with you.
I
disagree. I think they should
like
keep VAR. They have to keep VAR because if they remove it, the only thing that they are admitting to is that yes, the games are fixed. You were right, but we're not going to do anything about it. That's the only thing that it proves. So I think they should keep VAR. I think goal line technology should be a FIFA mandated rule. And meaning in every single, I mean, the MLS, the lousiest league in the world does it. MLS. There's a lot of other leagues that do it as well.
Because they were trying to implement more AI offsides something too, right?
Yeah, who's trying to bring that in? Arsene Wenger. For reals. So he has a rule that he's trying to implement a new rule for the offsides that essentially it was like a very ridiculous one where what if I think it's like if the player is if he's onside, right, and he runs, and the moment the ball is passed the first touch of the ball, right, towards that player who is in the offside position is like longer than 3 seconds, then he's offsides. But if he's shorter than 3 seconds, he's not offsides. Which to me is like,
oh no, that's a different one. What I'm talking about is that they want that's one that he's trying to bring in.
Yeah.
But there's another one that they're trying to do instead of having a VAR ref.
Yeah, like an actual physical person. They want AI.
Yeah, they want AI to be calling the offsides.
Yeah, I know. It was called. Well, it's not going to call the offside. It's going to predetermine if there's a possibility of offsides. That's what it was.
Okay, so it's not to determine.
No, it's
for
like,
sure.
It's like, hey, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Well, then what's the difference? But who knows? Maybe AI will actually get it right.
Yeah, depending who's coding.
Yeah, Florentino Perez, man.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was a very. It was a very. I would say at this point, I would say I'm not shocked anymore. It's like, oh, it's Madrid. Like it's known that they are really scandalous, and not just Madrid, right? Spain in general.
Yeah. It you can tell that there's a huge agenda to maintain two teams. Well, now just one, but before it was two teams,
Right.
and
And you can tell. You can
and
tell.
you would see that's why the phrase of "Huefalona" came out.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean,
Barcelona.
that was because of the Chelsea game,
Not
which was
not
like the
just the
most.
Chelsea game.
But
There
that
was
was
several
yeah,
examples of
but
that.
that was the most like. All right, bro, we got you. But
Yeah. That was extremely scandalous.
so like
If you get
five,
a
six
chance,
penalties.
if you get a
That shit
chance
was
to go to
crazy.
YouTube and look for the Chelsea versus Barcelona game, and
2000 what 8 2009 I think
yeah,
somewhere around there.
around it's where the famous
Iniesta go
scene where Didier Drogba came out saying it's a
it's a fucking
disgrace.
amazing,
And then
very
it's
passionate
another
man.
famous scene from that game is where Michael Ballack
Just like trying to
is trying to get the ref's attention
saying
to
like
to tell him like you did not see that handball. Like it was a ridiculous game because it wasn't just one two, there was so many things that were miscalled. It was horrible.
I can guarantee you if that game would have gone Chelsea's way, they would have won the Champions League because that United that United they faced Chelsea freaking ran riots on them in the
Calm
league.
down. I already threw you a bone. Just chill out.
No,
Nobody
I'm
wants
serious. They would have won that Champions League because it was the season. It was one of the seasons where Chelsea just dominated. They just dominated the league. It was during that era. What do you want me to tell you? I'm sorry, Tottenham has never had that era. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you've never seen your team go above what 80 points, 70 points. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you, brother. You know, it's
just Chelsea, dude.
It's a Chelsea thing. You
yourself.
wouldn't know.
Get
It's a
over
Chelsea
yourself.
thing.
Nobody cares. I already told you. Nobody even commented because nobody really cared to even comment.
I don't think it's that. Because honestly, because nobody just wanted to comment. Period. But
But moving on, going back to subject, this, like, me personally, I just want VAR to disappear at this point because it's so ridiculous. You say you want to keep it.
yeah, I want to keep it.
The only way that I would consider even wanting it back or wanting it to stay is if there's some regulations done that are, that can fit to all the leagues,
But yeah, it has to be a FIFA mandated thing.
Yeah, something that makes sense. If I can hear something that makes sense for VAR, I'll sure, whatever. But at this point, it's been extremely influential.
That and then what was the other one I was gonna say? Give me a second. What was the one I was gonna say? Crap. Honestly, dude, I actually just went over my head. Talking about VAR. Oh yeah. There should actually be. I think the only way to actually get around this is, like, for example, the Madrid game. The first person who made the mistake was the offside.
See the line.
Yeah, the linesman, right?
Linesman. Yeah.
And then the
Second.
fourth official was the one who made the
Second was
the fourth official.
the official on the field.
Yeah,
The blowing his whistle.
yeah, the fourth official, right?
Yeah.
So once he blew his whistle, play was dead apparently. But I've seen in other occasions where that happens, the person scores, they still VAR it just to kind of
No, well, yeah. The rule is
dot their I's,
the
cross
rule
their
is
T's kind of
if
thing.
if it ends up as a goal, you have to review it.
Yeah.
So that's why everybody was more shocked that it didn't.
Yeah, because even
because
the
it was a
commentators,
goal.
why they were saying like, okay, like it's gonna go
commentators
to
are
VAR,
like, it's going to
be a
get
goal.
reviewed. It's going to get reviewed, and no sign of that whatsoever. Play on. It was so dismissive and horrible. It's a bummer they like you said with Thomas Tuchel. He experienced this
Twice in two different teams.
in two different, but not just that. Like,
same opponents, but two different teams.
Even with Arsenal with the handball too.
Huh?
Remember the handball against Arsenal? Yes, they eliminated them from the Champions League, but that childish play where he gives the ball to his keep to.
Oh
his
yeah.
Yeah. So in the same Champions League, you get two different calls, and it's just ridiculous. It's horrible. You know.
Okay, so back to what I was going actually because I kind of diverted there.
Yeah.
But so the linesman made a mistake, and then the on-field ref made a mistake. Um, I think the referees association should literally punish these people or the whole team, because it.
Of refs, the whole team of refs.
Well, yeah, all four of them. The center, the
Yeah.
one, even though let's say
Because you get three up at VAR, right? Three.
no two,
You get two.
two, and it has to be a split decision by the on-field.
I see. Okay.
So yeah, so I would say, well, in that example, right, in the Bayern Madrid game, since VAR was not involved, right, VAR was not involved, they wouldn't get punished. Who would get punished? The on-field people, all of them, all both linesmen, the fourth official, and then the guy on the sideline. And I know he's probably the most innocent one out of all of them, but I think that's why you have a different. That's why you have another ref there, right? To not only hear all the bullshit that's going on, but also be like, hey, you know what?
You should go review
that
it.
shit was sketchy,
Yeah.
or something. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It's like they're afraid to speak their mind, or their pockets are full with so much green that they don't fucking care.
Does Bernabeu actually weigh that much, or what the heck? It was just ridiculous.
Honestly, I just think it's the Barcelona thing, bro. I think it's literally corruption. Just how the old Barcelona owned a CEO or president was got caught in that scandal with the paying the refs and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's literally the same thing because
and
yet, you can even tell.
And after finding out that it was a true corruption, nothing was done. Mm-hmm. Nothing was done. They did not get stripped by nothing. Nothing was done to the team.
And I think it's the same thing with Florentino Perez, because you can tell, just by looking at him, you can tell that he's. And I know, don't judge a book by its cover and all, but you can tell, like, his demeanor, the way he just carries himself. You can tell that he's like a freaking mob boss.
Yeah, you can definitely see that he doesn't give a fuck about FIFA protocol, nothing like that.
Yeah, that's what.
He even had the audacity to somewhat help Barcelona out financially too. So it's like,
and even try to make his own league.
Yeah,
like if that doesn't say fucking racketeering, I don't know what does, bro.
Yeah.
But anyways, going on to getting away from all the controversy and all the.
So looking at the final, Madrid, Borussia Dortmund.
Okay, on paper, Madrid take it.
On paper,
right?
On paper,
but who knows, man? This Borussia team are. They are actually this.
They can put on a shift.
Yeah, man, they can actually do something. They can actually do something and actually, take it. You know what I mean? Actually take it. And who knows?
What do you guys think? Do you think Madrid is too strong for this Borussia, or can you see that there's some hope for them in this final?
Because look, even Bayern at their worst, because this is Bayern at their worst. Madrid, I wouldn't say they struggled, but they didn't have it easy either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Borussia Dortmund, when they played Bayern, they worked Bayern. So, I don't know. Comparing the two dogs, right? Like, it's the same opponent. That's the only thing I can say. And sticking onto the German side of things, Bayern Leverkusen is still unbeaten.
1 game away from the league. Even though they already won it, 1 game away for having an undefeated league.
Undefeated season, yeah.
And, they have the Europa final coming up, right?
Right. So it's okay.
The Bayern never losing, how they're calling them.
I think. Okay. So remember you telling me that they're like, or you saying that pressure's gonna get to them or something, right? And I remember I told you, like, the pressure's off, dude.
Yeah,
and you can tell because
what was it? Was it, the game was today?
Yeah,
the game
that
they they won 5-0.
Yeah, the game was. All right, so the pressure's gone, right? Because you were saying that there's some form of pressure, right?
Well, yeah, like a mental pressure of like, oh my god,
Right. Right. And then
I
I was
can't lose.
like,
I can't, you
yeah,
know.
and I was like, nah, bro, because they already won the league. There's literally no pressure.
But yeah, like you can tell now. You can see. Well, you can always see it, but that this particular team, like everybody understands, they're all on the same page. They're all always running, no matter what. That's why they have so many uh, stoppage time goals.
Right.
You know, because they just don't stop. They do their tasks. They all do their parts. They don't stop running.
Right. And I don't know, but again, like I said, I the way I saw them play beforehand, before all this, I was like, bro, this team is so confident. They're just clicking. They're just clicking. And I noticed that in the Europa League semifinal against Roma when they were down 2-0, and I was like, oh, this is it. This is where
They finally,
well, this is where
because they were still gonna pass,
no,
right?
no, it was a 2-2 draw,
No, you're right. You're right.
and so this is where I was like, oh, this is where they get to prove if they have any actual pressure, right? To see if there's actually any pressure into this
Yeah.
to this whole thing. And the game went on, and it's hits like the 80th minute hits, and I'm like, oh shit! Like this is where
Because the reason I said that they were still gonna pass was when they were down 2-1 in that game. On aggregate, they were still ahead.
well, yeah, but they were down 2-0 the whole game.
No, yeah, but but what I was telling you is, even with the 2-1, that's still losing a game, even though you're advancing.
Right, but they're still
So
losing though.
exactly. So when they scored the 2-1, when they scored that one goal from being 2-0 down,
Right.
I thought, okay, maybe that's just enough. They're gonna be okay letting this one go because they advance.
Right.
But no, that was not enough. They just kept on
Well,
going, and they tied the game.
that's where I was trying to go, but you so rudely interrupted.
First time, bro. First time. Let's go watch all the other episodes, bro.
So Roma, even though it was 2-1, Roma were dominating the game. Roma were the ones who were on top. That's why I thought, holy shit, this game's probably going to go to overtime. Right? 'Cause that's the only thing that came to mind when I was watching it. I was like, holy shit, Roma is so close to fucking tie the game. And then all of a sudden, freaking 90 something minute, Leverkusen here score a great goal, by the way, a great goal, and yeah, it kind of showed it proved my theory from like a month ago that their pressure, that they literally have no pressure, that their shoulders are clean, that they have nothing weighing them down. And even Xabi Alonso, they were down 2-0 in the 80th minute, and the only thing he was asking, he was telling his team, his players, is, hey, the triple C, cool, calm, and collected, baby. And yeah, and even the captain, who actually caused one of the first penalties in the game. You can see him actually talk to his line, talk to his midfielders, like, hey, like, stay cool, stay calm. We got this. Because overall, the game would have stayed 2-0. They just would have gone to overtime, So the game wasn't over. But then once they scored, they're like, we got this. Like no one's gonna take us down. And they proved it, and they reproved it again today when they won.
5-0.
Yeah. So it's okay. Well, sorry. Let me finish that thought. It's amazing to see, right, that a team who has been around for a long time, who maybe not in Europe has been really respected or really like known, like Bayer Leverkusen, but at least me, that's where one of my favorite players came out of, Michael Ballack. He came out of Bayer Leverkusen. That's where Son came out of.
Yep.
And to me, I admire him because he's a really good player on and off the team. He's a really good player. And Bayer Leverkusen is one of those teams where it may not be big in Europe, and it may not be big even in its own country in Germany, but it's one of those teams that have such a big fan base and such a respectable community that it just to me it's one of those very, I don't know, very wholesome teams, I guess. And seeing them accomplish this and break records upon records, and at least being alive in my lifetime and seeing that they won their first Bundesliga trophy in their history is just amazing. I'm over the moon for them because it's good seeing somebody other than Bayern win the league. First of all,
I feel like it helps the
yeah,
football world.
yeah, because it brings competition. And competition is healthy. It's good. It forces other players to be better. Other teams to see
It's doable.
Exactly.
Let's get on the same page. Let's do this together. All that good stuff.
Exactly. So going on to that, this I forgot. I think it's BBC Sports or something like that. They had Martin Keown, who he was an Arsenal player who played in the Invincible eras, and for some reason, from one reason or another, they keep on mentioning Arsenal's Invincible era with the current Bayer Leverkusen team, right?
Yeah.
And Martin Keown, he wasn't comparing them, but he was saying like, "Oh yeah, Arsenal, went, invincible for the season. They lost. They didn't lose a game till the following season, where they had 49 games, season games, right?
Yes.
Not including Europe, none of that. Invincible, right? Undefeated, and which is good. It's great.
It's an accomplishment, of
right?
course.
Yeah, of course.
We're not going to take that away.
Yeah, of course. And it's a rare sight, right? And not even the strongest Bayern has done that.
Yeah.
The Bayern who's won everything, the league, the Champions League, the German Super Cup, everything in one season, because it's impossible. Let's be honest. But
this Bayern Leverkusen team is
proving
special.
It's proving that it's not impossible, and you only get to see that, who knows, maybe once every 120 years.
Yeah.
Because as Martin Keown was talking about that, he was like, "Oh yeah, he was kind of just comparing of what he experienced with the current Bayern player experience." But never once did he say, "Yeah, Arsenal and Leverkusen are the same." And one fan kind of took it like
a little personal.
Yeah. and he kind of started going off with him, like saying like, "Oh, like you can't compare them because Bayer Leverkusen are still in Europe, and then they won, domestic cup as well. They've won everything in a single year when Arsenal only won the league." And to a point where like, well, yeah, but no, they're just comparing them, being that it's literally the second team in
history.
Yeah, to actually do it, at least,
And the way they're doing it, they just broke the record of most games undefeated.
Right. Well, that's combined though. That's combined. It's league and Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, that's still special.
No. Well, yeah. I'm not saying it isn't, but I'm saying, to me, the only way I'll recognize the same record as Arsenal is league wise, because that's the only reason. That's the only thing that Arsenal was undefeated in league, right?
Yes.
And so as soon as starting next season, let's say Leverkusen win the final, the Europa League, they win the German Super Cup, which is the first competition they have, I think, at the beginning of the season, and then the league starts. Well, actually, they're gonna have the UEFA Super Cup, and then they're gonna start the German Super Cup, and then they're gonna start the league. But anyways, yeah. So
I heard a joke that if Madrid wins the Champions and Bayern Leverkusen win the Europa League and they play for the Super Cup, there's going to be like 20 goals after the 90th minute.
Yeah.
So that was hilarious.
And what was I going to say? That's where I think the numbers start adding up again, right? So I would say, in order for Bayer Leverkusen to break Arsenal's record when it comes to league games, like Arsenal, I think, had 49.
Yeah. No, it's 48.
Something like that. 48. So Bayer Leverkusen would need to play minimum of 15 games, 14 to tie it, and 15 to beat them.
Yeah.
Without losing. And after playing all those competitions, it's not going to be easy to win 15 games. Or not lose, I'm sorry, because they can draw.
Yeah. Not
lose 15 games, which is insane.
I think it depends on what type of business Xabi Alonso does in the summer.
Right.
And and what type of mentality they can maintain
But
for the next season.
still, it's not. Um, I just think it's whatever players stay, right? Because this always happens, right? They start nitpicking other teams that have money.
Yeah, and there's already rumors that
They
one or
start,
two players
yeah, they start
might be
poaching
out the
players, right,
door.
left and right.
Yeah,
And honestly, these teams they don't need them, but it's like, he's hot commodity, he's hot property, you know.
yeah,
But anyways, I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens next season. I can't wait for next season to start, and this season's not even over yet. But
yeah. We're just 2 games away.
the Euros start, right?
The Euro. This year's the
Euros
Euro.
start, right? I think. Yeah, and I think London is hosting the final. I think Wembley's holding the Euros.
For the Euros.
I think. I'm not too sure. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. But I don't know. It'll be very interesting. To see. It'll be very interesting to see the the level that one Xabi Alonso gets to as a coach, and two that Bayer Leverkusen team. If they can all stay together, maybe add some backups or improvements, right?
Fresh legs.
Something, right?
Yeah.
And they can maintain that same animosity, that same dynamic, then it's gonna be a dynasty. It's gonna be a dynasty, man. It's gonna be the next New England Patriots. What? They were a dynasty. They were a dynasty. You can't say they weren't.
I don't care about American football.
I'm just letting you know that's what a dynasty is. It's in Germany. Olympia Stadion. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, but I'm just saying.
So now switching it up, coming back to the Premier League, we're coming down to the last game of the season.
Right.
And this week, it's first. The pending games are going to be played, and then on Sunday, it's going to be the final game of the season. And it is moving towards what you had mentioned, that it's going to go to the wire, it seems.
Right.
And depending on what happens during the week with Tottenham versus Manchester City, depending on that game, it's what's going to decide whether Arsenal takes the league or City takes the league. Because the final game, Arsenal is going to be playing Everton. And City is going to be playing. Who is it? Who are they playing the last game of the season?
Give me a second, bro. So they got Tottenham, and then at the end they have West Ham.
Which it's going to be an interesting game as well. But for the point situation, the Tottenham game so far, it's going to be a very important game.
So for sure, realistically, Arsenal are going to win that game against Everton.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, I see Man City struggling against West Ham than against
Tottenham?
Yeah.
Well, in previous seasons, this is the first time in, I think, like 4 or 5 games,
right,
that they were able to actually defeat Tottenham. There's something about Tottenham when they play City that it's just they come out differently every single time. That it's been complicated for City to handle. As a Tottenham fan and looking at the table, realistically, we would be hoping that Aston Villa loses both games because they're playing tomorrow against Liverpool and then on Sunday. And realistically, if they were to lose those two games and Tottenham magically wins against City and then against Sheffield, I think, at the final game, they will go up to the 4th spot. But it's depending on too much to happen,
right?
On too little time.
Yeah,
I just honestly, only because I hate Arsenal so much.
Right, you want City to win.
I want to lose against City, And some people might say it's shameful, whatever. The fact that we lacked so much passion in all these derbies this season, I just want to see some spark of hatred against our main
Arsenal.
rivals. You know?
I think, if anything, right, hypothetically, all this, obviously, I say City draw the game against Tottenham, right?
Yeah.
Uh, Arsenal and City are tied on points. Uh,
It would go to goal difference.
Arsenal on top. They have more goals. Not by a lot. They have 2 goals. Well, right now they have 3. But I'm just saying, let's say it's a 1-1, right?
Yeah.
And then there'll be 2 goals, goal difference. And then City have West Ham. Well, let's be honest, West Ham hasn't. They're not closing the league relatively well.
No. And plus, they already know they're going to have a different coach next season.
They're losing Moisey.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
the only thing I dread about the game of Everton versus Arsenal is the fact that Everton's not fighting relegation anymore. They are safe. So I would have loved it if they were still on the edge, because that would have given it a little extra boost of
more
the game.
Spicy.
Yes, to make it a little more spicy. But that's not the case. So
hypothetically, Tuesday is the game. They draw the game. It goes to the last game of the season, and then that'll just goal difference will be because Arsenal are going to win the Everton game. If they don't, if they even draw that game, then they bottled it for sure, and it'll be hilarious.
And that would be 2 seasons in a row.
They bottled last season too?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't remember. Who remembers Arsenal? No one does. But anyways, but yeah, and yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. See how it turns out. Hopefully, the games are good. At least they're entertaining. Man City, who did face Fulham? Last time
they slaughtered them.
Yeah. So
and that was kind of surprising that it was such a big slaughter, because Fulham had a somewhat of a decent season.
So if Man City come out swinging the way they did against Fulham versus Tottenham, it's GG's. They won. Good games, brother. GG go next. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. I hope Tottenham get thrashed because it's Tottenham. And
I mean, I want to lose the game. I don't want to be manhandled either.
Come on, you like being manhandled. But I want Man City to thrash Tottenham. I don't want Erling Haaland to score.
Why is that?
Because Cole Palmer is 4 goals behind Erling Haaland. So, in my mind, Cole Palmer would need to score at least 4 or at least 2 goals against Brighton, or 3, score a hat trick. And then the last game of the season, Chelsea have Bournemouth. And if Chelsea just, rape the hell out of them, Cole Palmer will, and obviously Erling Haaland not scoring any goals in the last 2 games, but that's not going to happen.
His season hasn't been all that, so it is possible that he won't score.
It'll,
watch the Tottenham game, first goal, Erling Haaland.
That's what I'm saying, and he'll be the top goal scorer, which is crazy because he's not even a forward. It's crazy. They brought Erling Haaland to score, so many goals, which, to be fair, he has, right?
Yeah.
Because 25 goals in a season is no easy task.
No, it's not. It's not.
But when you have people like Kevin De Bruyne assisting you, you have Bernardo Silva to your right assisting you. Then you have, Rodri, you have all of these other midfielders, you have Kovacic or whoever they use in the midfield, I don't even know who they use, assisting you and giving you balls, right? And you were a known goal scorer like Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
And you only have 25, it's like, what are you missing, bro? Like, because to be honest, he should be scoring 30.
Yeah,
40 at least.
yeah. It's kind of like with like Harry Kane. You know, Harry Kane would be scoring 30 plus back to back
Well,
seasons.
I think he scored 40, and I think in Germany. I
Yeah,
think he scored.
38,
I
38,
think he scored
39.
40. Let me see player stats. 36 on his first season in Germany.
Yeah. So that's what you would expect
Yeah.
of a high profile striker, at least 30 and up, you know, or at least close to the 30 mark.
Lewandowski, and he's been in Germany his whole career, most of his career, scored 35 the last time he was there in Germany.
Yeah.
And then a year before him leaving, he scored 41. But that Bayern was a very terrifying Bayern too. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm
But yeah,
going,
props to Cole Palmer. Like you said, he's not even a striker, and he's fighting for a golden boot. So
which is which is crazy.
yeah,
It's crazy because I've literally gone back all the way to 2016, right? 2015, 2016 right now.
yeah,
And Erling Haaland is nowhere near the top three in Germany, which is crazy. It is yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Let me see. Last season he scored 36 goals, which is kind of what I expected him to score this season, 30 to 40,
yeah.
because he's the top guy, you know. But I mean, I don't know. Crazy, crazy thing.
But yeah, season's coming to an end soon. We have this weekend, and then we got international football, which we'll be discussing as well.
Yeah, you
The
got
Euros,
Euros. Yeah,
maybe even the what is it, Confederaciones, or what's going on as well.
Copa America.
Copa America. There you go. You know, we might discuss a couple of those games too. Let's see what happens, and I want to try something new, if you don't mind.
Go on.
If you like, turn around for me just for a second.
No.
And then, no, I'm just, I'm kidding.
The hell?
No, no, no. So I want to throw you a question, just for fun. This is
Throw
for
me a
fun.
question, okay?
All right.
Okay, I'm listening.
And I want you guys to chime in as well. I would love to hear your responses as well. So go in the comment section, give your response, and see if we can have a discussion further on about this. Free kick.
Okay.
You got your team has a free kick.
Are you
Whatever
talking about
team.
the Messi thing?
What messy thing? Just listen to my question, bro. Don't bring that motherfucker in there. Nobody's talking about him right now. This is my question. Your team has a free kick, and you can have any player from any period
Oh,
to take that free kick last minute. Who would
okay.
you choose, and why?
Who and why? So there's a lot of people who I could say, right? Like Ronaldinho,
But you got to pick
or
one.
Beckham, I know, or Beckham, or Lampard, or even Alex, the defender. I could say a lot of them, but to me, the one person who when I saw him do a free kick, and I'm like, holy crap, like this guy's fucking legendary. Juninho Bernabeucan.
Do you guys even know about Juninho Pernambucano? Please tell me you guys know about him.
The only reason why I say him, I mean, especially him, right? To me, is there's this one free kick that he does against Barca,
Yeah.
where people were freaking out in that Tony Cruz free kick in the World Cup against, I think, I don't know who it was. I think it was South Korea or whoever that group was. It was when
Yeah,
Mexico.
when it was on the edge, on the side.
Yeah. People were
Yeah.
freaking out. Okay, so imagine that angle, but closer to the sideline, to where the throw-in is at.
Yeah.
Okay, Juninho scored a free kick against a prime Barcelona, against Valdez in his prime, and it literally went up and over before Cristiano Ronaldo even, coined that
knuckleball.
coined that knuckleball.
But we had been seeing that differently. But I guess Cristiano was the one that
Yeah, he was like, "Hey, this is called this, or this is how I
Yeah.
do it, whatever." But anyways, Juninho was the one who I saw, and I was like, "Holy crap, this guy and this guy's fucking." He's like top.
Yeah.
He's like top, and then not only that, but he was so class on the ball. And I know Ronaldinho was like magical, but Ronaldinho made it look impossible for someone like me to do it,
Yeah.
or for like the average Joe to do it, right? But Juninho, he made it look just effortless, so simple.
Like you had to do less to be able to
Yeah,
accomplish the
yeah,
same
yeah.
thing.
Like you didn't have to do all that mumbo jumbo that Ronaldinho did, even though that was spectacular, right? Because it was a show.
Yeah.
But it was just so smooth, kind of like Javier Pastore when he was at Palermo, when he was starting out, or at least when he was starting out in Europe. He just worked. He just the way he played, it was just so classy and so calm and so no pressure. But then when he went to PSG, it was like he had like the whole world weight on his shoulder. The whole world, the weight of the world on his shoulders. It was so odd seeing his downfall. But yeah, if you guys ever have the chance, literally, I kid you not, Javier Pastore when he was in Palermo, or even Juninho Bernabeucano, the man's a god.
So just so you
Cheito,
know,
you know what? Scratch that. Cheito Delgado, come on. I'm just kidding. I'm just
at
kidding.
Lyon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
So my answer would have been pretty much the same. Juninho Pernambucano, he was the most automatic
Yeah,
free.
he was the Michael Jordan for the.
Oh yeah, for free kicks. You know, Beckham, he was known for that too, but in comparison, Juninho was more automatic.
Yeah,
You know?
I think Beckham got that fame more because of the team.
Yeah, he had more exposure, I guess.
Yeah, the team,
And
and then the person he was dating at the time.
And the curl,
Which
but
is
you
his
have to
wife.
admit those curls were insane.
No.
The curls were insane.
I'm not saying they're not.
But Juninho was more automatic without the flash of the free kick, like you were mentioning.
Yeah.
You know, so but yes, my answer is the same as yours. Juninho Pernambucano. That's who I would have loved if that was my scenario.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments. Have you seen him? Did you ever get a chance to see him play or see one of his free kicks? If you haven't, YouTube never fails. Check it out.
Yeah, man, check him out. Those are great free kicks. Honestly, he's a great player. Great player, amazing player. He's very underrated for sure.
But yeah. Anything else that we forgot to mention?
I don't know. I don't think so. If we did, I mean, let us know. I don't know, something you guys. Oh, you know what? Real quickly, Isco, 19 man of the matches trophies in 27 games. It's pretty impressive.
Good for Isco. Good for Isco because
he's a lazy player though.
Oh yeah, lazy player, plenty of talent.
Yeah, a lot of talent, like extra talent.
Yeah,
but so lazy. Which honestly, it sucks. It sucks to see because you see it so many times.
Oh yeah,
and it's like, bro, like what I wouldn't give to have even like an eighth of their talent.
Yes,
you know what I mean. And it's crazy. It's crazy, but it is what it is.
It all comes down to the ambition of the individual. You know, each ambition, making it to everyone means something different. You know, and as much as we would love to see the full potential of somebody, sometimes
if they're not hungry enough, they just don't do it.
Or they're satisfied as far as they went. You know, what can you do? But that's part of life. That's part of football. It's part of everything. You know,
right?
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you for joining us again. And this was episode 8. And we'll see you guys next time. Right?
Right. Bye.
Don't make it awkward, bro. Just say bye.
I did.
All right. Thanks, guys. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you.
Comment, like, and subscribe.